Happy Friday the 13th. How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Sinister 2 2015.
Karen? Oh, baby.
Boys, let's get ready for bed.
Can we just watch till the next commercial? Come on.
I don't like it when you boys watch stuff like that before bed, okay? So let's go, come on.
So this is the sequel to the 2012 Sinister movie, and this time it doesn't have Ethan Hawke, because if you guys haven't seen the last movie, spoilers ahead, please click off now. But in the last movie, Ethan Hawke's character was killed off by his own daughter. The daughter killed the brother, the mother, and Ethan Hawke, the father himself. And yeah, everybody died in the end. The little girl went with the demon Bagul, and the bull pretty much taken her soul to the other side of the videotape realm. And that's how it ended in the last movie, pretty much. So James Ranson is back in this movie. He plays Deputy and so-and-so. So he returned in this movie from the first movie. So the comedic character in the first movie returns as he's the new main character in this sequel. And he is helping a mother with two kids. Two are really they're twin brothers, they're siblings, and they are on the run from an abusive ex-husband, father, and pretty much they're just on a run from him, and he's sending people to spy on them, to go after his ex-wife and the two kids, so that way he can get them back and abuse them more, pretty much. And the mother's played by Shannon Sosaman. She was in other late 90s movies with Josh Arnett. I forgot that movie was called. But yes, she was in a lot of other movies before. So this time, when the mother and her two kids move into the house, because the pattern continued. So there was a family that, not the Ethan Hawke's family, but another family that was killed in a farm, like some kind of farmhouse. Basically, her and her kids are, especially the brothers. The brothers are experiencing some paranormal activities going on there. They see the spirits of the dead children that was doing those horrific acts from the other videotapes that they are forced to watch by the spirits. So the ghost children are forcing these two siblings to watch these tapes so that way they can become part of. So that, I don't know. So it's like more like an initiative thing. They have to watch it to become them, to become one of Bagul's children's, become like his army. So his little cult.
It's not real, Mom. It's okay if it's not real.
So yeah, the dead children makes one of the siblings watch the videotape so that way he can join them. And not only just that, like he has nightmares of these dead children and the Bagul himself. And meanwhile, the older brother, or the younger brother, I forgot, but either way, the brother is jealous and is abusing his other brother, and the mother is trying to prevent them two from fighting all the time. And you can tell the older brother is taking his actions from his father, which is kind of sad. This movie you can tell this movie focused more on the characters, more on the drama than the first. Don't get me wrong, the first movie, it focused on characters, but it focused more of like Ethan Hawke trying to uncover this mystery. It was like more like detective type work, just him trying to figure out what's going on. And as stuff like when shit happens hit the fan, it's genuinely creepy in the first movie. While this one, Deputy and so-and-so is taking that place. He's investigating. He's trying to stop this pattern. He's trying to stop this murders. He's trying to stop the Bagul. He's trying to save this family. So pretty much it's like he has that same drive as Ethan Hawke did in the first movie. But this movie kind of focused way too much on the drama aspect, like the family and the two siblings getting like hunted down by their own father / ex-husband. It's just kind of like, okay, I mean, I understand you're building character development with these characters, and you like the movie's trying to like give you something to feel, trying to make you feel bad for the mother and the kids, which I totally get. And it's already bad enough that the Bagul and his children are trying to get after them too. But I don't know, sometimes when you mix too much drama in horror movies, sometimes it can turn out well, sometimes it can turn out poorly. And in my opinion, I think it turned out poorly for this movie. So anyways, Deputy and so-and-so is trying to tell the family, if you move out of the house that the previous family was murdered, if you move to a different location, you like basically you're gonna get killed. And eventually, yeah, shit's gonna get recorded, and you know how the videotapes go. Like, there's always one kid in each family that's always committing these crimes, that's killing their own family because they're influenced by the Bagul's evil. They have to videotape it, and then after they're done videotaping, they have to label it and they have to put it in a box full of videotapes so that way the next family can see it. And yeah,
something otherworldly.
Yes. You don't stop evil. You can only protect yourself from it.
I'm worried about Dylan.
Why?
He's just different.
I have something to show you.
There are references.
so what did I think about this movie? Don't get me wrong, this movie, it's not a bad movie. It's actually entertaining. It does have a lot of good, memorable scenes. It does have a lot of good, effective scares. But then again, it also doesn't. My main problem with this movie is that, like I said, they focused way too much on the drama. And I'm not gonna lie, the older brother that's like bullying his other brother, like he's a little shithole in this movie. He really is. The actor who played this character did a good job for playing a shitty brother. That I'll give him props for. But yeah, I didn't like his character. I thought he was kind of annoying. But the main kid, the main brother, you can tell once you watch him, it gives you the feeling the audience should feel like they should feel bad for him, which I do feel bad for him, and I especially feel bad for the mother who's running away from the abusive husband, and the guy's just trying to get after his family, and he's setting people to take pictures of them and spy on them. That whole side story, that whole story arc, it's sad, it's suspenseful. It's it's drama driven, you know what I mean? Which I have nothing against that. There's no problem with that. But if you're mixing that with supernatural elements with the Bagul and the dead children, it's just, I don't know. I'd rather focus on the actual scary ghost story, with some genuinely good jump scares, kind of like the first movie. It was all about that. While this movie, I felt like it was too much on the family. It was focusing too much on the family and the drama, which I wasn't really a big fan in my opinion. That's just me, but I'm pretty sure most people or some other people will like this movie because of that. Not only just that, the children, the ghost children, in the first movie, they were genuinely scary. They didn't do anything. They just looked at you. They did this. They just didn't have they didn't talk pretty much, which made it scary. They didn't do much. That was the whole point. And if the less effective or the less action you do, the more scary it becomes. That's my opinion. Especially the less things you show in horror movies, the more effective or the more scary it gets. But in this movie, the kids were kind of annoying. Even the ghost children in this movie was kind of annoying, and it kind of reminded me of Children of the Corn, and especially that whole franchise. So hey, I wasn't really feeling even their acting, when they're trying to be genuinely scary and when they're trying to be villains, you must join us, you must watch these tapes and blah blah blah. It kind of comes off cheesy a little bit. It kind of reminds me of a Goosebumps episode. So it's the creepy ghost children or Children of the Corn's kind of cheesy in this movie. But in the first one, they were genuinely scary. In this one, they're just cheesy, and they focused way too much on the videotapes. The videotapes was one of the disturbing and best things about the first Sinister movie. But you can tell in this movie, they were focusing on the videotapes way too much, way too hard, to the point where these videotapes are the new Saw traps, the Saw movie traps. They're considered I bet you if they're gonna make a Sinister 3, that they're gonna be all right, we gotta make these videotapes more violent, more over the top as we can. Well, I don't know, dude. The videotapes of how families are getting murdered, you can tell they're just now getting they're becoming Saw movie traps, man.
That it fed. Oh, for the corruption of innocence.
Children, have you ever met the bogeyman before? No, of course you haven't, for you're much too good, I'm sure. Hush, hush. Bogeyman.
But other than that, other than its flaws, the characters in this movie are still pretty good. But Ghoul is still creepy enough. He is pretty scary still. He's genuinely terrifying. Deputy and so, he's still funny. His character's like, his character is like one of the best things about these two movies. He was good in the first movie, and he's also good in this movie. I will say this, the jump scares in this movie is not as effective as the first one. The jump scares is a little bit cheesy, it's a little bit toned down. It's like, even when jump scares do happen, it's like a false jump scare. It's like noise, really, and nothing happens. It's just like, really? But yeah, I saw this movie way back in Washington in theaters, and the ending, I'm not gonna lie, the ending's like one of the coolest things I've seen, because the ending has a twist, because you think the family's about to be murdered, but something happens, and something like this totally breaks the chain. I don't want to spoil it, but once you watch the movie and its ending, it's like a cool little, it's like a positive twist, I can say. It's a positive twist.
There's a murdered family, a house, and some form of offering. What does she say? It's coordinates to where? A farm where an entire family was murdered.
Nobody ever comes out here. That was terrible what happened.
Overall, it's not as good as the first one. I still prefer the first one over than this, like, because the first one's genuinely creepy and it's genuinely disturbing, while this one was just more like your typical Hollywood sequel, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't as effective as the first one. So I would give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. So that was my quick review of Sinister 2, 2015. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone.
Your family's in danger.
Why?
He's gonna hurt us.
I won't let that happen.
Hush, hush, hush. Here comes the boogeyman. Don't let him come too close to you. He'll catch you if he can. He'll catch you if he can.